Oh my God. Look at the size of that one. Now these guys are lightning fast. Oh, hello. Look at the way he moves, like he bounces almost. Wow. The cloud forests of northern Ecuador are some of the most biodiverse habitats on the planet. Under the dense cover of vegetation, a whole secret world is bustling about with some of the strangest life forms you've ever seen, living out their lives largely unseen by people. I'm Spencer Hoffman, and my mission is to get you up close with this secret world, and I'm in the cloud forest investigating one of the most infamous spiders in the world. But there's a lot more than spiders to see here. This place is absolutely crawling with life, and I'm joined by my good friends Harrison and Evan Black from the Wildlife Brothers on a hunt to find the absolute weirdest things the cloud forest has to offer. But for the best results, we're gonna have to head out after dark. So if you're ready, let's see what oddities are waiting in the cloud forest. So I'm basically doing here is I'm actually scanning really close. So we've seen a lot of weird spiders and stuff, but I saw a couple of like really strange Harvestmen, and I'm actually hoping to see a bigger one. Something there. Oh, here we go. Actually kind of blended in there a little bit. It's funny looking. Come here a little closer and see if you can see what I'm looking at. You see it? Yep. Right there is honestly probably the oddest looking Harvestman I've probably ever seen. Look at this thing. Now this would be some kind of armored Harvestman, and I can tell because number one, it has the Harvestman body, but number two, look at all the weird armored plating it has on its back there. These guys are some of these strangest looking arachnids on the planet. And what's funny is they're related to daddy longlegs, the Harvestman you probably see in your backyard. Now there's a common myth that the daddy longlegs is the most venomous spider in the world, but that's not entirely true. They're not venomous, they're not spiders, but they are in the world. That part is true. These guys are in their own order of arachnids called Apiliones, and they actually don't possess venom at all. They actually have these claw-like mouth parts right in the front of their face that they use to, in some cases, just eat fungus and stuff. A lot of them are detrivores, but a lot of armored Harvestmen are actually predators. They'll be using those claws to rip apart prey, small, soft-bodied invertebrates that he's probably hunting in this mossy clay wall here. What's crazy is we've hiked this stretch during the day and we really didn't see anything at all. So this is a creepy little creature that's coming out after cover of darkness falls, a true thing that goes bump in the night. And with any luck, we'll get some even creepier stuff than this while we're exploring this trail. I gotta say, around every corner, we're seeing just the wildest looking creatures, some of which are just so much stranger than anything I've ever seen before. And whenever I'm in a new location, it's one of my favorite things to do is actually go poke around and just see what's moving. See what kind of crazy, weird creatures the area has to offer. And if you're enjoying coming along for the ride, and would like to see more of these adventures in the new places that I go, I'd appreciate it if you left a like on this video. That'll help YouTube spread this video to more people just like you who want to come on these adventures, but it'll also tell me that this is something that you're really enjoying and you want to see more of. We did not have to wait long before stumbling onto another bizarre creature. This one, however, was much more stunning than it was creepy. Yo,
dude,
look at that millipede.
Sick. Wow.
Look at this thing. It's huge.
Yeah, and it's bright. We've seen a bunch of these tonight. I don't know what species of millipede this is, but they are incredible looking. One of the brightest invertebrates we've seen out here tonight. They have that bright orange coloration that really stands out from the environment.
Yeah.
We've been seeing a lot of camouflaged insects tonight. So you might be wondering why this millipede stands out so brightly from the environment. Now the reason for that is because this is a poisonous species. If you were to eat it, it would probably give you a pretty upset stomach, and for a smaller animal, it might even do some even more serious damage. So that bright coloration is actually warning colors, telling a predator that you would not want to mess with this species.
Yeah, this guy's slow moving and extremely bright colored. That is 100% gotta be really toxic. And that's not the only defense mechanism these guys have. They are tough, built extremely tough. This myriapod is armored to the teeth.
And what they'll do is, if they feel threatened, they'll curl up into a little ball. Actually, they'll wrap themselves up and protect their legs and their underside, which is a lot more sensitive. But right now, this guy seems pretty chill. He's just exploring, probing around with those little antennae at the front of his head. Now, these are detritivores. They'll be breaking down a lot of the plant matter here on the forest floor, eating the little leaves and things that have fallen to the ground. So that's probably exactly what he was doing out here in the middle of the path, where it's a lot more open and easier for him to traverse. This is a beautiful little myriapod out here. We will let him get back on his way. But still, I love seeing these guys out here. They're just so pretty. Honestly, one of the most beautiful inverts I think we've seen tonight.
This is gotta be one of the craziest ones I've seen, yeah.
All right, we'll let him get back to moving. Off you go, buddy. Definitely not one that we have to worry about running away on us with how slow they move. There he goes. Still, such a sweet little find out here. Very cool.
Yeah. What an incredible arthropod. Vibrant colors, toxic venom, and impeccable camouflage are just a few of the things that you'll find in these amazingly diverse regions. Every animal has to be able to adapt into a very specific role to be able to survive and thrive out here. This also sometimes spawns some of the most unusual creatures ever. On our first night, we stumbled across my lifer Whipscorpion, but the brothers have assured me that down the nature trail we can get much bigger ones. And they weren't kidding, because what I spotted next was something that made me feel like a little kid again. Oh my God. Look at the size of that one. Wow. They weren't kidding. There are some big ones out here. I am gonna try and coax this on my hand real quick. Now these guys are lightning fast, not very aggressive. Oh, hello. Look at the way he moves, like he bounces almost. Wow. Hi, bud. You're okay. Good morning. This is morning for him. It is early nighttime, but these are nocturnal. Hi. Hi, yes. Wow, he has a weight to him. Look at you. This is a Whipscorpion. I'm sorry. You didn't like that at all. And a proper size one at that. I'm gonna lower my voice just a little bit because it doesn't seem to be too fond of the, like, just the air pressure of the sound that I'm making. Now this is probably one of the most frightening looking arachnids on the planet. And I'm gonna be honest, this is a creepy looking creature, right? But that's kind of what I like about them. They're just so bizarre looking, those giant claws in front of their face, those long sweeping legs, and just that general, like, even that like slight reddish tinge they have. They're like, their appearance is like something out of like Dark Souls. This looks like a video game boss, not an animal you'd be seeing in the wild. But sure enough, this is a real animal that actually exists in the world. And that's kind of one of the most impressive things about these tropical environments. There's so much biodiversity that the most outlandish creatures can actually be found here. And this is an arachnid. It's related to scorpions and spiders, and it's in the name, right? Whipscorpion, right? But it's kind of funny because it's a Whipscorpion, but it's actually more evolutionarily similar to spiders. They diverged a lot more recently than they do with scorpions. You might be saying, Spencer, this kind of does look a little bit like a spider, right? Or like a daddy long legs or something. But they are actually in their own group. They're called amblypygids, which is a very funny sounding name. And their biology is kind of strange. See, with a lot of these guys, we don't know a whole lot about them. We know that they are predators, and unlike their venomous cousins, the scorpions and spiders, they don't have any kind of venom or poison that we know of. They tend to use these big claws in front of their face to basically snag prey and tear it apart when they're eating it. See, it has a very creepy appearance, but with bizarre animals that we don't know a whole lot about, one thing we can actually do to get kind of inferences about what their biology is really examining their appearance. And you can see here, tiny little eyes with these big sweeping legs. That's actually a clue to how these guys interact with their world. You can see the way those sweeping legs are kind of just poking me around, scanning through the air, these wide sweeping motions, just like that. You see that? These legs function as this arachnid's antennae. Now, insects have antennae on their head, but they're not legs, they're actually antennae. With a lot of arachnids, they actually sacrifice antennae for modified legs that function as antennae. You can see these guys, a lot of segmented joints over here. They get a lot of surface area to get a lot of information really quickly about their environment. They don't see very well. And honestly, with their nocturnal lifestyle, they don't need to see very well. What they'll be doing is sitting on the wall, just like that, splayed out with those sweeping antennae, slowly just kind of scanning their environment. What'll happen is an insect will kind of wander into that antennae-formed leg, and because you saw that speed, it'll lunge, tackle it, and just tear it apart. Honestly, I gotta say, venom might be a little bit more humane. Unfortunately, nature is pretty brutal. That's why they get their name Whipscorpions, because these big old whips that they use to scan their environment are how they kind of snag their prey. Look at that thing. This is like nightmare fuel for some, but a dream come true for me. This is an animal I've wanted to see for years. Ever since I knew what it was, it's one that I've hoped to eventually come across. There are pockets of them in the US, much smaller than this, but I haven't been able to get out to see any of those. It's kind of funny, I get to see something that is technically found in the US for the first time, miles and miles from home, out here in the Ecuadorian cloud forest. But whatever the case, I'm glad to see it because these things are friggin' awesome. There are no words to describe my joy in seeing such a magnificent and alien-looking creature in the wild. This adventure to Ecuador is only just beginning, and already I've encountered animals that I could have only dreamt of before. I've always had a soft spot for the world's strangest little creatures, and the cloud forest has done nothing but deliver on those. This isn't the only place I've seen really odd creatures, though. If you want to see another one of the planet's most unique arachnids, check out this video right here, where I traveled to southern Florida in search of the elusive Schizomydon, a subterranean creature that is almost never seen by people. Hope to see you there, but until next time, don't forget to get outside and find your own adventure.